Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome back to another video on the Ferrari 328 GTS restoration project. Now, previously, you'll have seen us get all this front end built up. That is all now put together. There is still some bolts that I need to tighten up. This is all just in loosely for the moment, so I will go around this and nip all this up. I just wanted to get all this in place, make sure everything was in the correct spot, and that we'd got all these shims in the correct places as well. So that is now pretty much done, other than a few bolts need tightening up. We can then get the wheels on, drop this on the floor. So the aim of this episode, guys, is we are going to start attacking these relays. As I've explained again previously, that these are all corroded inside, and we have got quite a lot of electrical issues on this car. We don't have any lights at all, we don't have any indicators, we don't have any wipers, and various other bits and bobs are not working either. We do need to get this front clip put back on this car, because we are now just over 3 weeks away from this car going for paint, and as you can see, it's not really ready for paint. So we need to get all this operating. We need to make sure everything under here works before we put that back on here, because we do not want to put that on there and find out that stuff doesn't work, because then we are going to really struggle to get access to any of this once that front clip is back on. So we're hoping, and fingers crossed, that these relays are the source of the majority of our problems. If it's not those relays, then we've got a real job in our hands. We're going to have to start pinning out and load testing all this wiring and all these plugs, and see if there's any issues down that road. But again, we are hoping that this all falls back to these faulty relays. So we have had some new relays delivered. Now, in that fuse box, I've got all the part numbers off the relays, and there is 3 different types of relay. Now, obviously, those original relays are no longer available, and they do cross-reference over to different part numbers. So we've got our relays laid out here for all the different part numbers, and this is what we've been supplied with, and is kindly put down our original part number and what these have cross-referenced to. Now, some people are saying that these Ferraris only have 2 types of relay, however mine has got 3. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether 2 of those relays that are on that board are incorrect. Again, I haven't stripped this car, someone else has stripped it, so I'm just working with what I've got. Somebody may jump in on the comments and tell me that there should only be 2 different types of relay in the car, and perhaps, again, that may be where some of our problems stem back to. So if any of you guys do actually know if there is only 2 types of relay, or if there should be 3 types of different relay in that fuse board, please drop some comments down there and let me know if you've got any experience on these cars. So this is what we've been supplied with. We've got our part numbers there to cross-reference them to. So we're going to start now swapping over a row at a time. So we'll go for all these 072815, 072815, which cross-references to the relays ending 101. So they're the ones we're going to hit first. We'll get those swapped over, and then we'll come back and then we'll cross-reference these over, and then we'll swap all that type of relay out, because we don't want to get these muddled up. So we're going to do these one part number at a time, get them all swapped out. We'll then put the battery back on. Fingers crossed stuff works. So let's get to it, guys. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get some of these lights working, and then we can concentrate on getting that back on there, because that is the elephant in the room at the moment. Right, so 101. There's one of them there. Ooh. One in. Right, so that's all the 101's done. Right, so now we're moving on to the relays that end in 113. There's most of the relays are these 113s. as I was saying earlier, guys, I'm just hoping that no one's been in here before me and started switching and messing around with these, trying to get stuff working. Because if they've done that, it's going to be a total nightmare to figure out which relay goes where again. Just going to put a little mark on that one, guys, because I'm not confident. That is the only odd relay in the board. And as I was saying, I've had some people tell me there should only be 2 type of relay in there. And this has got 3 types, and that is the odd one out. So I'll put a mark on that, because if something doesn't work now, I'm going to take that out and switch it for one of, obviously, I've got some spares, but one of these kind of relay, matching these part numbers, and see if that works. I have also got an odd relay there, which looks like it's been changed at some point in the past. Again, I'm not sure if that's correct. So there is potentially 2 relays there that I may need to swap out and try. And then also I've got this random one over here, which has got a wire soldered to the back of it. So I have no idea what that's doing. So we'll leave that in for now and see what we can get working. And obviously if stuff still doesn't work, then I'm going to have to look at changing that out. And also changing these 2 out. So let's try that, guys. Let's see where we get to. See if we get anywhere at all. See if we get any improvements with what we've changed so far. So before we get started checking this stuff, I've actually just found another relay that was attached down here, which I think is the flasher unit. Now let me just show you this before we get started checking those other relays out. Look at that, I've just pulled that out. That has got seriously wet at some point, I'd say. And these little diode things have actually rotten off the circuit board. Look at that. Nasty. So what I have found in my box of Manta bits is this one. That is a flasher unit out of an Opel Manta. Now it looks very, very similar to that one, although it's not the same. I'm hoping that this may work, which is very, very clean. So clean these contacts up a little bit on the bottom, and we'll pop this in and see if we get any indicators. So you never know, an Opel Manta might come to the rescue of a Ferrari. Let's give it a try. Okay, so we've got our battery connected. I've popped the ignition on. So let's have a flick of some switches and see if we have anything. These are now lighting up, so that's a bonus. Oh, what's that doing? I can hear something moving. That's doing something at least. What's this one do? Yeah, I can hear that doing something as well. So that's working at least. Do we have... We don't have any of those heater fans. Oh, we've got one. Hey, hurry up, it's spitting stuff at me. We've got... That one works. I've not got anything on that one. Oh, that one. See if we've got any lights. Oh! Look at that. Ooh, it's a bit noisy. But yes, we have lights. Now that one, I know there's an issue with that. Ooh, I'll show you why in a minute. Do we have indicators? Yes, we do. Oh, we do. Oh, we did. Yeah, we do. Happy days. It's doing something. Obviously the lights aren't connected at the moment because the front bumper's off and back lights are disconnected, but that is activating and it wasn't before. Happy days. Still don't seem to have... Hang on. Oh, yeah. So we've got a flash. Ooh, them are noisy. Now the issue we've got here, guys, with this lamp is this rod has snapped. So I do need to find one of them, but let me get this back in. Happy they work. That's mint. I'm not sure if these need oiling or something. Maybe they want a bit of a lubing up. But look at that. Happy days. Right, so we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Now then, the other issues we're experiencing with these other switches, oh, these are illuminating now as well, and they wasn't before. Oh. That clicked something then. So maybe these are something to do with these two odd relays. So we'll start to switch those around now with some other relays and see if we can get these other bits and bobs working. But that is a result. I am happy with that. Right guys, so what we're going to do next is we're going to start to go around and check all the wiring, make sure we've got all the feeds we need to the lights and the indicators. You probably hear there I've got the left hand indicator on. It is flashing fast because we've only got one indicator currently on, which is on the back. So we know we've got that one working. Obviously again it's flashing fast because these two are disconnected. There should be a side repeater in here and obviously the indicator on the front as well. So we'll start off with checking these wires, which are for the side repeater. These ones. So we've got a black and a blue. Black being the earth and the blue being the power. There we go. So we have the wiring is checking out okay there. So if we move to the front, so we know our indicator feeds are black and blue. So we go to this plug, we find the black and the blue in there. Put the black into the earth and the blue to the power. Now we have again, so we know our feeds are there for our indicators. Let's just check we've got feeds to the side lights, which we do. So that's all checking out, so we know all this wiring is good. We know the wiring to the side repeater is good. And again, we're doing all this before we fit this nose cone so that we don't run into these problems once the nose cone's on. And obviously it's going to be very hard to access. So that's good, that's good. Let's move on to the other side. Right, so we've got our diagram here for the relays and we're now going to check the operation of our radiator fans. So we've got right hand radiator fan, left hand radiator fan. We corresponded that to these two on the fuse board. I made a short loom up there, so now if I bridge out these relays one at a time using the top and the bottom pin, this should activate our radiator fans if they work. Pop that in there. Yep. There we go. And if we do the same on this one. So now we know our radiator fans work. That's another thing ticked off the checklist that we know now works. Right, so next thing we're going to be looking at is these aluminium trim covers. These, I've just tried to put these in place and they are quite a little bit tricky to get where you need them to go. We've got our diagram here of where all the arch panels and trims go. So these are the trims we're looking at the moment, which is this one, and that one on the opposite side. So we're going to sort of dry build this. I'm just going to put some self-tappers in it for now. It will be riveted once we know it's in the correct position. I'm going to put some self-tappers in it for the time being so I can take them back out and move stuff around a little bit if I need to. This is a bit of a trial and error at the moment because we're trying to get all these covers on. So this aluminium trim we just put in loosely for now, but then we have these panels as well, which actually fit up inside here. Now the problem we've got is these pipes are actually causing this to sit too far forward. So we're thinking that these pipes have actually been routed wrong at some point in its past because they just don't look right the way they go in. They're all rubbing on these frames and stuff. So we're going to disconnect these from under the scuttle panel and we're going to try and reroute these up over the top, which will allow these pipes to compress back a little bit and see if that gives us a bit more clearance for these trims. Where does that one go? That's well crushed. So we've got this one released, and the other one actually goes through there, all the way across there, then comes back round, and it's actually this pipe here. So I'm going to disconnect that one now, but if you can see there, that pipe is actually quite trapped against that, and it's actually got a kink in the back of it as well, so it's definitely got to be routed wrong. Again, this is the first time I've worked on one of these, so I could be wrong, but it just doesn't seem right at all to be sat there. So let's have a go, see if we can make it fit a little bit better. Oh, that's loose. Look, we did that. Okay. Yeah, you go around on the side. Yeah, to well, that wiper mechanism just pull out the way for a minute. Yeah. Want to pull it all out the way or what? That's what we're doing there. So I can get this cable tied. I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing or not, yeah. It's a problem when you've never worked on a car before, isn't it? Yeah. That definitely doesn't seem right to be there. Where'd you just disconnect that from? Look at the kinks that had in it. So we had a kink there, and also a kink there, where it's been crushed. So let's try I think it just goes straight through there.
What's it connected to?
There.
Okay. Taking it past that one up.
I think it's running behind that.
Is it?
And it comes between the two there. It's somewhere around there. It's in between there somewhere. It's just getting stuck.
Well, can't see it.
Some sharp stuff.
Yow. That hurts. Ow. That's literally caught on that. Ow. That hurts. Yes. Where's that Jubilee clip? This one.
Makes more sense to be there than that one. There's a drain tube. And then I'd say that them two should have a bracket on there like that then. That size.
That size. We're on. There. I put it round this side at the bottom, then it won't rub that top one.
What's happened to the job there, didn't you? Now there's one. What's the little one?
Well, the wiper mechanism still fit. I'm not sure the wiper mech will fit with that there, you know. That's the next problem.
And that doesn't feel the best either. That's on it. Got no slack there. That's still going to be pretty tight there, that one. That's not too bad. And it's still not great. Right, so this is fast turning into quite a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, but this is the case, I suppose, when you take on a car that somebody else has stripped. So we're just trying to reroute stuff at the moment. We've just dealt with these two pipes here, which was clearly sort of crushed against the chassis, and they'd actually routed it through that hole there, which just didn't make any sense. Again, it might be right, I could be completely wrong here, but the problem we had is the panel won't fit against there, this trim panel, wheel arch trim. So now them are there, it actually allows them to go back quite a lot further. So hopefully now that will fit on there a lot better. We've also tried to reroute this pipe. Again, not sure where this goes. I'm going to shove this further down here in a moment. But we're just about to try our wheel arch, spare wheel trim panels in there to see if it will fit with these pipes here, because again, this had actually been routed around the back of here and come along the top of this, which was just completely getting in the way for allowing this panel to sit flush. So there just seems to be a lot of stuff going on in here, a lot of pipes that have been taken off and sort of put in the wrong places and everything. So we're just trying to figure out how all this is routed now. So next thing to do, we're going to put these spare wheel trims in and see if they fit. This one, it's that one. That goes. Right, yeah, because that'll be. Just move that for me.
That's it, you got a full set now.
That goes through the washer bottle, doesn't it? Yeah, so that goes in that washer bottle.
You just push your side down. That's sorted. Just take this grommet out a minute. Feels tight over there at yours. But the front's got to come up on it. That's it. Allows the front to come up. Fingers. Come round. Move it's in there. I'd get your spare wheel out. You can't. There. Yeah, but there's that bit yet. That bit. You've got to stick a thing in that. Self-tapper or what? No,
What's that?
That's plastic.
That goes over here. Over it?
Yeah, over it. Is it?
It's better than like that.
Yeah.
What screws can I get it? You have to get it over your windscreen holder.
I mean like that.
I bet we thought we'd miss it.
Oh yeah.
Do you want it there a minute?
Yeah. Yep.
Try that again.
There's something high under here.
See, I'm not sure whether that goes on top of that.
Or underneath it.
Looking at how it goes, because I'd say that spot welds to the car and then that rivet's in there over the top. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what's doing it as well, this back part here.
So that's because this pipe isn't letting it go down in here. All the way down that side.
Right, okay. But that bit there, that aluminium piece, that's behind that, just like this one here. I think the pipe's clear. That pipe under there is clearing. Inside. Good. Okay. So you can get to the what the line, the washer.
Is that front corner, yours needs to come down quite a lot, you look at it relevant to where the headlight should sit.
I was keeping it off though. Then. What's this bit gone to here? Is there a panel there?
Front edge.
That's still right there. In fact, if I push that down here, it needs to be, it pushes that forward.
Not the bonnet.
Try the bonnet. And let's try the roof on.
And the bumper.
And bump there. Do it. That's got a dent in the middle.
The wipers. on as well, fully. I'm going to have to get the doors on to make sure that all these rooms line up. Yeah, I want to know where all that wiring fits in. That particularly them round plugs. Well, that's quite a length of a loom, that, so it must go behind the dash somewhere.
That's got part of the industry on that. Where's this bit? Okay. Where's this slide into?
Just like on there. Should go up against your wing.
And then.
Yay. Down. Yeah. This one's a tiny little bit slower, but I'll have to figure out as a way of, I might just want to adjust it on the rods a little bit. Right, so we've laid everything on in place and it seems to line up okay-ish. Obviously it's all just placed on at this point, so there is room for a little bit of adjustment anyway. We've started to lay out these panels, these internal liners, so we think we've got all these now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to disassemble this again. We're going to fully rivet this aluminium trim in now because we know it fits and it's in the right spot. And then we can start to prep up our edges and actually get this ready for this front nose cone, front clip, or whatever you want to call it, to actually be welded back into position for the final time. We'll take these bolts back out of here now. Right, here they are. Yeah. Right, so we've got our front clip on the panel stand, and we have noticed obviously that these edges do want a little bit of work before we can actually fit this. As you can see there, where these spot welds have been drilled out in the past, there is a bird edge on every one of these, so these aren't grinding back, but this edge as well isn't the best. It's quite wavy. As you can see, there's various dints and ripples, so this is all going to want dollying back. These edges here, you can see where these have been stitch welded on from factory, so these edges want a bit of cleaning up, trimming back a little bit, just making it a bit nicer. Also these want a little bit of work in here. These edges are very rough, so these want cleaning up and treating. We've also noticed there's quite a bit of flaky stuff going on inside these wheel arches, and again on this side around there, so we need to get in here with a wire wheel and on the drill or the grinder, grind all this out, get all this junk from under there, and just various bits of tidying up. All this wants cleaning and sorting out properly, and then what we're going to do is paint it all under here in a stone chip type paint before this goes back on. So that is going to be the next step for this project, is getting that prepped, and then on the next episode you are going to see that being fitted back on there. I'll give you a little recap of what we've done on this episode. So we have obviously had all this has been built up now. This is all back on. We've got our aluminium trims on. We've tested various bits of wiring. We know all the lights work. We know all these fans work, all the heater fans work, and all that sort of stuff. We've also tested the actuators for the hot and cold, for the heaters. They work as well. So we're pretty confident now that everything works under here. We've also tested the wiper motor, and that does work as well. So that relay has, those relays even have cured most of our issues on the electrical side. Same again around here. We've got the aluminium trimming. We've now found pretty much all of our arch liners. So we know we've got those. They can go in once that front clip is on. So we are getting there. Lots and lots to do. Again, this car is in for paint in the first week of December, which is just over 3 weeks away, I think. So we are now on a massive time crunch to get this jigsaw puzzle put back together. So we're going to leave this one here, crack on with this tomorrow. We'll see you all in the next video. And as always, please drop us some comments, hit that like button, give us a share. We'll see you all in the next video.